In this tutorial question we are given, this is question 24, we are given if x equals to 2t squared and y equals to 1 minus t, then we have to find dy dx. Now in taking the solution for this question, the very first thing we are going to do is to write out this function here, which is x equals to 2t squared, and then in the other side there we have y to equals 1 minus t. So we are going to differentiate these two terms independently. First, on this side here, we are going to differentiate this with respect to t, because we are having t on this side. So here we say dx, then dt, which means we are going to differentiate this by saying power times base, power minus 1. The power is 2 times 2t. 2 times 2t will give us 4t. Then 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's the derivative for this, okay? Now if we come to this side, our dy dt would become, if we differentiate this constant, it turns to 0. Then here we have 1. 1 times minus t will give us minus t. Then 1 minus 1 is what? 0. So finally we have minus 1 here, because t power 0 is 1. So if we differentiate this, we are going to have this, okay? Now, how do we now get this? Take note that if we are to take dy dx, you will see here that this dx needs to come down and not up. So we are going to reciprocate this part here. And in doing that, the dt goes up, the dx comes down, and then we must reciprocate this side also. The 1 underneath it goes up, and then the 4t comes down. While our dy dt still remains the way it is, which is minus 1. So therefore, at this point, to get our dy dx, we are going to multiply dy dt, we are going to multiply dy dt by dt dx. So you can see once again, if we cancel this, we're going to have dy dx. So what is the value we got for dy dt? Dy dt is minus 1. Then multiply by dt dx, which is 1 upon 4t. And if you multiply this out, our dy dx eventually will give us minus 1 upon 4t. And this is going to be the answer to this question.